Well, I'm a little late to this one, so I'm sorry. Mostly because I actually saw this movie yesterday, and I forgot to record the review. So I'm recording it now. You're welcome. So, this review is over the new Hercule Poirot mystery, A Haunting in Venice. I am a big fan of murder mystery movies. They're actually one of my favorite genres of film, so I was very excited when I heard that this was coming out. And I always think that a whodunit is a great place for a horror aesthetic to it. And I must say that A Haunting in Venice does deliver everything that I was expecting from this film, and it does a really good job of doing so. The story is pretty simple. There is this woman who has this palazzo in Venice, invites a bunch of people over. There was an orphan Halloween party, and then they decided that they were going to do a seance to talk to her dead daughter. Blah blah blah. People get murdered. I'm not going to say who gets murdered because I don't recall seeing who exactly gets murdered in the trailers, so I decided to not share this info here. But murder happens. Hercule Poirot takes out the notepad and begins noting clues. And it is quite... I love murder mystery movies because if they're done correctly, you could solve the mystery before the reveal in the film, but that's what makes murder mysteries rewatchable. You watch it once, just going along with it, and then you watch it the second time to see if they actually hinted at the big reveal earlier in the film. That's what I love about Knives Out and Glass Onion, the Rian Johnson murder mysteries that were also inspired by the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot novels. And it is that if you rewatch those films, those two murder mysteries are two of my favorites of all time, and two of my favorite films of all time, and they're infinitely rewatchable. I don't know why, in my opinion, but you rewatch them and you catch a new little detail every time, and it's something that I like. When I rewatched Glass Onion recently, I noticed every time I rewatch it, I'm always on the lookout to see if you could see all the tiny little things. You know what, I'm not going to spoil Glass Onion, you should just go see it. But it's really well made murder mystery where the details are there if you're keen-eyed enough. So the story is pretty simple, but I like the twists that they have in there with the horror aesthetic genre in there as well. So I must give it a hand grenade score there. Cinematics, this is beautifully shot and very well, I liked the music. Cinematically, this was amazing. So I'm gonna have to give it another hand grenade score here. I'm speedrunning through a bit of this because it's a murder mystery and I'm too scared to spoil the mystery. So, directing, I think this is Kenneth Branagh's best directing feature. He does an amazing job directing this film. Much better than the previous two and some other projects that he also directed. This was a great... I really liked what he did with the shots, his composition, the camera work to give that suspense, the eerie feeling of the haunting in Venice. And it was quite a thrill, honestly. So a hand grenade score there. And not to mention that he is also the main actor, so let's talk about the acting here. And it is also really solid. The whole cast does a great performance. Hercule Poirot and Tina Fey come to mind because they were the two main lead investigators. There was a guy who reminded me a lot of Javier Bardem in this film, which I always thought was kind of funny, and then I actually did think it was him for a while, and I'm like, oh, maybe he just has a little bit of makeup to change his appearance for a little bit, and then I found out that it wasn't him, but in the end, it was a great performance. So I'll have to give it another hand grenade score there. My expectations and experience, this delivered pretty much what I was expecting from a murder mystery. A good reveal at the end, although I do think that there could have been a little bit more to tease the actual motive behind it. But to be fair, I didn't really get motive from a lot of this. And also to be completely fair, I've been watching 7 different murder mysteries right now. Because there was Only Murders in the Building and the After Party going on at the same time, so I watched those. So my mind is murder mystery out right now, and I love it. But overall, a great time, solid hand grenade score there, and a solid hand grenade movie. So I strongly recommend checking this out as soon as possible, mostly because it is by far the best murder mystery of the Hercule Poirot starring ones, and I do strongly recommend it. So other than that, leave a like if you enjoyed, comment down below if you have checked it out and if you thought it was a good murder mystery, and if you're a fan of murder mysteries, and subscribe if you haven't already, and other than that, I'll leave you guys to it.